Hey, Zach here from Frontenac Outfitters Canoe and Kayak Center. Today, we're finally having a look at the Pungo 120 from Wilderness Systems Kayaks. So why do I say finally? Well, the Pungo is such a popular boat. They're hard to keep in stock. I've paddled a few times, but we've never had the chance to actually get down on the water and do a proper review on one. So really excited to share the Pungo series with you. It's available in 3 different sizes, a 10.5 foot, the 12 foot, and the 12.5 foot version. And they're all gonna be kind of suited for different size people, and we'll get to that in a minute. But first, let's have a look at the boat. So the Pungo is one of the best-selling recreational kayaks in the world, as well as at our shop, and for good reason. It's a great little kayak if you're looking for something that's stable, comfortable, easy to get in and out of. It's just the whole package for sure. It's not the lightest kayak on the market, but there's certainly a lot of ways around that to make it more manageable, whether you're using a cart or you got a friend or something like that. I think all the benefits definitely outweigh the small negatives that we're gonna find on this kayak. So let's start at the bow and we'll work our way to the back. We'll have a look at the hull and we'll do some on-water commentary as well. I believe they redesigned the Pungo back in around 2018, so this is the latest version of it. And it was a complete overhaul, new hull, new deck design, and all the improvements on it were awesome. It's a great kayak. The only disappointing thing was they replaced the Pungo 14 with the Pungo 125. Not that that's a horrible thing, but that Pungo 14 was a really nice, longer recreational kayak, which are hard to find. Starting up here at the front, we've got our integrated carry handles. These are a solid handle in here, so no fear of picking the kayak up by that handle. We've got a flared bow here. That's really good in, light, choppy conditions to deflect any waves and keep them coming over the deck of the kayak. Now, keep in mind, this is a recreational kayak, certainly not designed to be used in open water, the Great Lakes, the ocean, on rough days, that types of things. It's really designed, and any recreational kayak for that matter, really designed for inlands, ponds, lakes, really slow moving rivers, that really lazy river where there's almost no current. Sliding back, we've got adjustable bungee set up on here, so we can reconfigure this bungee in multiple positions, if we need to attach things to the deck. There is a deck series bag that comes with the Tsunami series of boats that is available to purchase if you want to add those deck bags onto the front here. So it is a neat little feature. Coming a bit further back, the console. So the Kayak console has been on the Pungo series of kayaks since its iteration, and it's a removable pod. Just clicks in place, has a removable dry box, couple of cup holders, has a mount on here if you're going to mount a accessory holder for a fishing rod or a phone or something like that. Here you can mount, it's designed to fit the Wilderness Systems battery, and a couple of flat spots here. Again, you could mount your own accessories on here, whether it's from Yak Attack or Ram or something like that. You can actually physically drill and mount on an accessory to add more rod holders, whatever you want to do with it. That's the beauty of a recreational kayak, is they're multifunctional. You don't just have to go out and paddle with them. You can use them for fishing at the cottage. Multi people can use this kayak. It's a great kind of option for any user. So fully removable. So if you want full exposure to the sun or whatever, you can have this. Makes it super easy getting in and out of the kayak without the console on there. Inside of the kayak, we have our adjustable footrests on here. Super easy to do on the fly. You just lift, pull, push, just to get that perfect position for your feet. Sliding a little bit further back, we have our padded knee rests. Also makes a nice little pad for your shoulder when you're carrying the kayak if you're carrying it solo. It is a little heavy and awkward, I won't lie about that. So maybe not the simplest kayak to carry on your own, but it is certainly capable to be able to carry on your own. And that pad there really helps protect from any plastic edges digging into your shoulder. But ultimately it's designed to, when you're in the kayak, you can brace your legs against it to help control the direction of the kayak. It actually performs edge turns really, really well, and it's extremely stable when it's on its edge. The primary and secondary stability of this kayak are really great. It doesn't want to tip over even when you put it on edge. It will tip over, don't get me wrong, but it gives you a lot of confidence when you're out on beautiful days like today and you've got nice flat water. You can really kind of dial in the edges on it. Coming a little further back here, we've got our seat. This is the Air Pro, one of the most comfortable seats by far. Completely adjustable. This is in a high brace position here. We can pull that seat down so it's in a lower position. Full adjustability front and back, so we can recline that seat back or pull it forward for a more aggressive paddling position. The seat pan itself has a lifter in it, so you can lift the, and support the back of your legs. So some people, if they find their feet fall asleep, that can really help by adjusting that and keeping those legs elevated. Fully breathable mesh with a really nice breathable foam in behind of it. So it's honestly, it's a really, really comfortable seat. One of the best in the industry as far as like performance, comfort, and adjustability go. Behind the seat, we got lots of room, for storage. You keep your pump, your safety kit right behind you there. Not really any places to tie gear into. I mean, you can attach it to the back of the seat and stuff like that. I mean, it's a recreational kayak. It's really not designed for camping out of, but I mean, people do it. You can do it if you've got, a fairly lightweight kit and you're not going too far. Plenty of room up in the bow to store some gear up in there too. We have a sealed bulkhead behind the seat as well, which separates our flotation chamber in here, also acts as dry storage. This is using the Orbix hard hatch here, which is a nice little system, creates a nice dry hatch inside of here, again, to store, change of clothes, some lunch, whatever you want to keep protected inside. A couple of bungees here. If you want to attach some gear, you could put your pump or safety kit maybe behind you on the deck back here. And again, we've got our integrated carry handle at the back, making carrying the kayak really easy. As we mentioned earlier, the Pungo is available in 3 different sizes. The 10.5, which is good for a variety of paddlers, not just small ones. If you're looking for just a smaller, easier to transport kayak, it's a great recreational kayak for a 10-foot boat. This is the Pungo 120, so it's just over a hair over 12 feet long, about 29 inches wide. And this is gonna be good for your kind of smaller or medium-sized paddler. I was out paddling today, just for reference, I'm about 5'10" and about 200 pounds, and it was fine for me. I'd probably, if I was to purchase one, I'd probably go for the 125. The 125 being about 12.5 feet and just a touch wider, but the biggest difference is it's got a bit more volume in it. It's a little bit deeper, so it's going to accommodate a slightly larger paddler a bit better. Weighs in at about 49 pounds, so it's really manageable. So let's flip it over and have a look at the hull. So the Pungo's got a great hull on it. I mean, it's designed for stability, as we talked about. So has this really long keel line to it with a shallow V hull with these flat partitions on it, and a multi-chine hull is the industry term, where we have this flat surface here. The chines are a hard chine, but it's not like a 90-degree hard chine. It goes off into this really nice kind of secondary chine to provide a lot of secondary stability. So you can really get this kayak to edge over and not feel like it's gonna flip you right over like you might find in a traditional sea kayak. We can see kind of the flared bow here. That kind of cuts in right here, which is a nice little feature. Not much rocker on this kayak, but again, we want this kayak to be able to paddle straight really easily, and it does that really, really well. A big reason for that is down here at the rear, it's almost like an integrated skeg that's built into the kayak. We have a removable skid plate here, so if you are kind of dragging it up off the beach, that type of thing, this will take the wear, and it's not going to wear through the plastic of the hull. You can take this off and change it out if you do find that you've wearing it down. I don't recommend dragging your boats around, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. But this is the big reason here. This shape of this kind of integral skeg really helps this kayak track true and straight, and it's a joy to paddle. All right, so I've managed to spend a bit of time in the Pungo. I've paddled it on numerous occasions, but today we really kind of went out. I tested the edges, its turning capabilities. Honestly, got nothing but good things to say. It's an easy kayak to paddle. I'd be better suited in the 125 at 5'10", about 200 pounds, but this is certainly a boat that can accommodate me and a variety of paddlers smaller than me, maybe slightly bigger, but I wouldn't push it much further. It does edge turns really nicely, so when I put the kayak on edge like this, it cuts a turn to the outside just like I want it to do. It paddles in a straight line effortlessly. The seat in it, super comfortable. I can remove the dashboard. I could have a small pet, my dog, maybe a small child out here in front of me, just because there's so much room in this cockpit. The downside obviously being there's no front bulkhead or front flotation in it. So if we do capsize, we want to be mindful that it's going to be a little bit more difficult to rescue because this whole cockpit is going to flood with water. Days like today, out on calm lakes, this is what this kayak is really designed for. So the chance of capsizing it is really low. I mean, we can edge this thing way over and I still feel solid. Like, it just doesn't want to go over, which is fine. It will. I can push it even further and it will go over. But even on this far, far edge, we're still good. So, super stable, which is a good thing in a recreational kayak. So the speed of the Pungo, I mean, it's not a race kayak by any means, but honestly, it's really efficient, and efficiency easily translates into speed. So not bad. It's very efficient. It tracks really well, so I'm not wasting a lot of effort putting in correction strokes to kind of keep the direction I want to go. So overall, not bad. I didn't GPS myself, but I feel like I'm probably doing about 3 miles an hour with you know, a steady pace, which isn't bad for a kayak of this size. You know, it's fairly short, it's fairly wide. Normally, you know, a recreational kayak tends to feel really clunky, but it doesn't feel that way at all. It feels comfortable, it feels stable, and just a joy to paddle. So this has been a review of the Pungo 120. If you have any questions, feel free to give us a call or send us an email. If you want to come and take it for a test paddle, we're open 7 days a week. Thanks a lot for watching.